Saint Theophylact the Confessor, Bishop of Nicomedia. March 8th. Bishop Theophylact, a devoted disciple of Patriarch Tarasius, defends the veneration of holy icons against an iconoclast emperor, leading to decades of exile and suffering. A heads up in the spirit of transparency. Please be advised that this content may include imprisonment, persecution, and suffering. Saint Theophylact lived in Constantinople during the 8th and 9th centuries, a period marked by the iconoclast heresy, which challenged the veneration of holy icons. From his youth, Theophylact showed a devotion to Christ and his church. He became a dedicated disciple of Saint Tarasius, who served as the Patriarch of Constantinople. Patriarch Tarasius was a central figure in the Church's defense of orthodoxy, presiding over the Seventh Ecumenical Council in 787, which formally condemned iconoclasm and affirmed the rightful veneration of icons. Under the spiritual guidance of Patriarch Tarasius, Theophylact deepened his commitment to a life of prayer and asceticism. With the blessing of his spiritual father, Patriarch Tarasius, Theophylact, alongside his close friend Michael, who would later be known as Saint Michael of Synod, entered a monastery located on the Black Sea coast. In this monastic community, they embraced the discipline of communal life, dedicating themselves to prayer, fasting, and spiritual labors. Their piety and fervent supplications earned them the gift of wonder-working from God. An instance of this divine grace occurred during a time of severe drought. As field workers toiled under the sun, suffering from thirst, Theophylact and Michael offered their prayers to God. In response, an empty vessel miraculously filled with water, providing sufficient refreshment for the workers throughout the entire day. This event demonstrated God's favor upon their righteous lives and their intercessory power. Recognizing the profound virtue, spiritual maturity, and leadership capabilities of both Theophylact and Michael, Patriarch Tarasius consecrated them as bishops. Michael was appointed to the see of Synod, while Theophylact was entrusted with the episcopal oversight of Nicomedia. As Bishop of Nicomedia, Saint Theophylact proved himself a true shepherd to the flock entrusted to his care. He dedicated his ministry to works of mercy and compassion, embodying the love of Christ for humanity. He oversaw the establishment of churches, providing places of worship and spiritual nourishment for the faithful. Beyond spiritual care, he founded hospices for travelers, offering shelter and rest to those on journeys, and homes for the poor, ensuring that the most vulnerable members of society received sustenance and dignity. He acted as a father to orphans, providing care and guidance, and a comforter to the grieving, offering solace in times of sorrow. His compassion was so profound that he did not shrink from personally tending to the sick, including those afflicted with leprosy. He would wash their wounds, demonstrating humility and selfless service, seeing Christ in every suffering person. The period of relative peace for the Church, following the Seventh Ecumenical Council, came to an end with the ascension of Emperor Leo V the Armenian to the imperial throne in 813. Emperor Leo V was a fervent proponent of iconoclasm and initiated a new wave of persecution against those who upheld the veneration of holy icons. The emperor began his campaign by exiling the Orthodox Patriarch Nicephorus. Following this, he attempted to compel Bishop Theophylact to renounce the veneration of icons and embrace the imperial heresy. Saint Theophylact, however, stood firm in his orthodox confession. He boldly confronted the emperor, denouncing his false teachings and testifying to the truth of the Church's faith. For this courageous witness to Christ and his icons, Saint Theophylact was condemned and exiled to the remote fortress of Strobel in Asia Minor. Saint Theophylact endured his long exile with unwavering faith and patience. He languished in prison for 30 years, bearing his suffering for the sake of Christ and the Church's tradition. Throughout these decades of hardship, he remained steadfast, offering his endurance as a confession of faith until his repose in the Lord around the year 845. His steadfastness in suffering earned him the title of Confessor. A few years after his death, in 847, the Holy Empress Theodora, acting as regent, formally restored the veneration of icons, marking the triumph of orthodoxy. In recognition of Saint Theophylact's unwavering witness, his holy relics were returned to Nicomedia, where they were placed for veneration by the faithful, serving as a tangible reminder of his life of service. his courageous confession, and his endurance for the truth of the Orthodox faith. The Orthodox Church commemorates his feast day on March 8th.